The courtroom was packed even before the sun reached the marble steps. A line of interested bloggers, photographers, and fans stretched around the block, all waiting for the conflict that nobody had expected to go this far, but that everyone knew would end. Ugly, Tasha K had arrived early, with a confident, steady pace and a smug expression that screamed, "I won't be the one who intervals." She walked. Behind her, with iPads, binders, and what seemed to be heavy folders labeled Exhibit, C collection of footage, came her legal team. Social media was sparked by the picture. Tasha K whispers turned into tweets, and tweets become hatchets, and before Bambi had even reached the court, she was strolling in like she owned it. Tasha's Bambi gained popularity before the judge even walked in the door. The atmosphere in the courtroom was large, and cameras were not allowed. Nevertheless, people persisted in surviving, tweeting every detail as like it were a scandal at the Met Gala. When Bambi finally showed there, she was dressed in black and wore very little makeup, and the room was silently buzzing with stressed-out eyes, not because of her clothes, but rather because of what she didn't bring: a crew, a smile, or the caustic language that dominated reunion stages. Instead, Bambi looked human. Her lawyer walked along her whispering, like someone who has already lost something and only the semblance of her name remains to defend. Instructions, but Bambi hardly nodded, sitting peacefully with her fists on her lap. After the judge entered, the program began. The lawyer representing Tasha K wasted no time in saying, "Your Honor," standing straight and calm, "my client was physically attacked, and the incident was caught on video in front of, there is more to this than a competition between reality stars. She was a witness at work and has since suffered irreparable damage to her reputation, physical, health, and mental stability. This pertains to the responsibility of the media sector, and we want to prove that my client was abused, defamed, and compelled to sue." The response from Bambi's team came from the other side of the aisle. "This is a setup," her attorney stated slowly. "A staged event promoted by manufacturers who saw a breakdown as a sign of money." Ms. Tasha K knew exactly what she was doing. In the past, putting pressure on a woman, mocking her, and spreading misinformation has emotionally cornered them. Our evidence proves intent. This was magic posing as reality television. The judge raised his eyebrows. The concerns are now televised provocation, assault, and defamation. Sighing, she said, "Be careful. I don't really care who went viral. I'm interested in who went too far." The first exhibit was given by Tasha K. A dramatic video montage of the incident is intercut with slow-motion footage of her hitting the cosmetics counter, blood, and screams. The ambulance departs. Others in the gallery turned their heads away as Bambi writhed in her seat, panting as the movie rolled. Others leaned in, and then there was, on the second video, Tasha K is seen lying on a hospital bed and making a dramatic whisper to the camera. "She hit me because I spoke the truth, but she can't stop me from talking." I answered, "Not now." The judge halted the recording and said, "Never." By whom was this filmed? Her team, Bambi's lawyer, responded that evening hours after the incident and before the medical release papers was signed. "Is this monetized content?" the judge asked. Tasha K's lawyer scattered. It was a passionate statement for her fans, and to be fair, it wasn't a sponsored upload. "Don't lie to me in my courtroom." "This video has more than 3, the judge said. Commercial material includes things like 2 million views, connections to contributions, and sponsored advertising. In the courtroom, it was murmured. Outside the courtroom, fans were riveted to their phones. TikTok was already remixing the music from the test footage. Twitter was ablaze. "This isn't even a trial. It's the season finale," Spice remarked on Twitter. "Told y'all the truth was deeper than y'all think, but it was Mama D who stole the moment," Erica Mina wrote on a black screenshot she posted online, showing her going live in the middle of a trial while drinking. Bambi thought she was unbeatable. But finally, the girl had to confront the truth. VH1 may have rescued her on set, but the courtroom, oh darling, the courtroom has no editors. The judge read aloud a sequence of text exchanges between Tasha K and a producer, while Bambi's team showcased their own exhibit back inside. "Bait her," he murmured, looking up. "Don't let her go in silence." These have been confirmed to be authentic by a third-party forensics team, stated Bambi's attorney. The court read it again and replied, "Explain this one," to the protests of Tasha K's lawyer, who claimed that there was not enough context. "That's Emmy if she loses it." "Believe me," he replied, looking at the article and then at Tasha K. "You admit to setting up such scenes for ratings, and I admit to being emotionally manipulative. I never asked to be assaulted, but Tasha K's response was provocative, clearly rehearsing, and when Bambi eventually got up, she spoke in a forceful yet quiet voice. You didn't have to ask since you already knew what would happen. You built the you lost control, but you lost humanity. You picked the ideal moment, dared me to fall into it, and I did, and I lost." Even the judge paused as the room became silent. YouTubers filmed their videos, bloggers scrambled to add captions as the chamber emptied, and the court adjourned. "We will resume after a pause." Comments from stopped cars. Supporters were divided again. Was Bambi the villain or the victim? Did Tasha K trigger it or did she disclose the truth? Will the lawsuit sink VH1 or merely confirm what everyone has always suspected? That evening, VH1 released a short statement. "We support safety and the truth. 5 words, no names, no blame." But the both women knew that the struggle had only just started and that it was no longer tranquil in the world beyond the courtroom. Within hours of the trial's first day, the Iowa media exploded, with news sites that had previously ignored reality TV drama suddenly prominently showcasing it on their homepages. Bambi raises issues about the Tasha K case, including the chaos in the courtroom and the revelation of the reality TV setup. Behind those widely circulated sound bites, however, there was a much more significant shift. The supporters weren't just as people stopped watching and began researching it. Reddit conversations erupted, and when previous episodes were analyzed, frame by frame with chronological breakdowns, one theory kept popping up. The narrative has been utilized as a weapon by Tasha K and VH1 from the beginning. Tasha K drank in her apartment. As if she wasn't listening, she started her live broadcast that evening with a dramatic tea in front of a ring light, then immediately looked at the symphonic music and a new thumbnail for the largest trial of the decade, Tasha versus the network. "Snake," he said, "let's be clear," as he looked into the camera. "I didn't start this battle, but I'll stop it, darling." The internet was on fire, and although her lawyer had advised her to remain silent, Bambi found that silence felt like suffocation as she browsed through her phone and watched the live video in silence without making any facial movements. And her match was the one they blamed for the burn. She believed things couldn't get much worse when her name started trending again, but this time it was because Mama D went live rather than because of judicial proceedings. Let's talk about the facts. She was dressed like a reunion special, her lashes were thick, her wine swirled, and she was lighted. The live broadcast was called Mama D's Tea Room, and 35,000 people had already seen it. I warned Bambi about it, both on and off camera. Her tone was haughty, and Tasha K just stoked it. For the record, if Bambi wants to sue someone, she better sue the therapist, she remarked, moving closer to the camera. To producers, that girl's temper was too short. They said they had healed her. The discussion started, but Erica Mina, tired of the deceit, joined and left. "Make it messy, Mama D, didn't you say? That would go viral. Messier is better." I obtained the receipts at that reunion video, but the statement had seldom been seen before. "Let Bambi and Tasha fight it out," the producers stated, referring to old letters that were allegedly written by Mama D and found in stolen photos. In every instance, Scrappy wins. The internet gasped when it was revealed that what had seemed to be a lawsuit between two ladies was really a sabotage plot. Campaign? VH1 headquarters was already in chaos, with officials racing to control the repercussions. It wasn't just the case, it was the impression. Published footage and disclosed communications, and now a production has posted an anonymous insider DMS. When they told Tasha to ask Bambi about Scrappy's daughter, the assistant, with the initials MT1DM read shot, we captured it from 2 angles. It wasn't spontaneous chaos, it was organized. Internal data is being examined. The network issued another vague remark. Our planned setup trended for 72 hours straight, but it was too late. Communications and granting. The court's full cooperation were also key. When the trial's second day began, both sides were better prepared. Tasha K's team called a surprise witness, a talent coordinator, who claimed that Bambi had a history of mental instability and violent outbursts. They also played videos of Bambi leaving sets, yelling at past reunions, and Bambi was always on the verge of something. They tried to make up a narrative while throwing glasses, but in retaliation, Bambi's lawyer produced medical documents showing that Bambi had been treated for PTSD, citing mental stress after years of being in the public eye. The lawyer said that she was provoked rather than unhinged. The voice notes then appeared as Bambi's group awaited the assault. Equipped with the receipts that radically altered the trial environment, one voice note included Tasha K laughing and said, "Do you think she'll swing?" "She will get better," the guy backstage stated. "That's the only way we get the message out." She was whispering to a producer about another. "We could." She routinely cuts it to make herself seem worse. Even the judge looked shocked. "Are these recordings authorized?" he asked. "They were captured by a third-party microphone installed on the set without Miss Bambi's consent," the lawyer shot back. "So the whole sound department is involved in this?" Quietly, the judge inquired. A long pause. "Your Honor, indeed." Although Scrappy remained mute outside, he hadn't spoken since his initial black and white countdown article. A gossip site saw him exiting a therapy session, and when a paparazzi, "Are you supporting Tasha?" Simply put, "I'm on the power side of peace," he said. That remark set off another round of speculation. Was he splitting from Bambi? Then all of a sudden, Scrappy sent in a new story, and I got 12 voice notes. I haven't heard whether he was going to be subpoenaed. If they put me before the court, I will unload everything. Tensions in court escalated again when Tasha K's lawyer accused Bambi of launching a smear campaign via shadow blogs. Rare behind-the-scenes footage from the attack day was published on one gossip website, but the name of the filmmaker was made public. Included, just before Bambi came in, a close-up of Tasha laughing and handing over her phone to a producer. Coincidence? "Any dance moves?" Bambi's lawyer asked. Tasha K didn't move, but Then, in a beautiful gesture, Bambi herself begged to speak. Glare may have shattered glass. "I know how that appeared." She stood up, inhaled, and said, "I know what I did," after her lawyer stopped and then nodded. "But let me be clear. I didn't arrive at work that day intending to. I went there to try to withstand a setup, and I fell for it. Fight anybody. I'm to blame, but don't call Tasha K a victim when she meticulously planned every moment. When she profited by using my misery as a weapon. Even if I'm not innocent, I'm not the villain you all keep painting me as. When she exposed my motherhood, my body, and my family with the world, they were all just clicks and captions." Some of the people in the gallery nodded. Others whispered. When the judge scribbled something, the court retreated again. Tasha K uploaded her own video that night, with poignant moments, carefully edited music, and a scene where she held a child's photo with the statement, "Be kind. She hit me and lied to me. She played the victim, but that's what she didn't expect. But my receipts are coming." The next morning, a former VH1 intern made an anonymous post titled, "What You Didn't See." To increase the number of views, Bambi was staged. The mailing included rehearsal notes, phone records, and schedule documents. The confessional changeover, when Tasha K was told to be in Bambi's line of sight, was one of the scenarios that were loosely blocked for dramatic effect. Even Tasha K's loyal fans began to wonder, wait, was she part of the trap? The last morning in the courtroom was calm, but hardly serene, as the internet exploded once more. It was the kind of stillness before an earthquake when everyone knows something is about to shatter. They'd pushed the reporters to the sidewalk, and they just don't know where. Police tape ran down the stair rails, and the atmosphere within shifted. Tasha K had lost her confidence. Her sparkle was still there, but her sneer was disappeared. But Bambi, who had nothing, walked in with her head raised slightly higher, not in victory, but in resolve. Before opening statements resumed, the judge addressed the crowd saying she was dangerous because she was allowed to lose. "Remember, this has nothing to do with TV," he said slowly. "But this case has raised important issues regarding reality TV, consent, manipulation, and individual responsibility. This is a legal matter. Tasha's, Your Honor, my client has experienced both physical assault and brand destruction, the lawyer remarked as he got up. She is lost support, received death threats, and were unable to safely return to work. The stress brought on by the incident wasn't a big deal. It was real. Even though Bambi's team didn't flinch, her lawyer took into account that less than 24 hours following the incident, Ms. Tasha K turned her suffering into something that made money. She created thumbnails, sent links to contributions, and snipped response videos. That's what's going on? The judge allowed both claims to join the case, with a woman in medical pain and a media strategist making money off of a situation she helped create. Blot on the record? Then came the exhibit. That changed everything. Instead of using social media or VH1, Bambi's lawyer played a recording of a Zoom discussion from the production team that was released by a former co-worker who had been secretly subpoenaed. The video shows Tasha K speaking with a producer a few days before the shooting. If she when it strikes you, it's done. The storyline is the focus of the whole season. We'll protect legally. Just let her in. The room erupted in gasps. The magistrate raised a hand. Where did this come from? It was disclosed by a whistleblower who asked. Also, to stay anonymous, the attorney said. But the audio is reviewed, date stamps, and verified by a separate legal forensic team. Tasha K's face became white. Then someone's hand appeared from the back of the courtroom. There was Tamika, a former VH1 junior producer. They had secretly subpoenaed her. The judge motioned for her to go ahead. Tamika said, I was on that Zoom call, in a shaky voice. I also signed an NDA, but I knew what they were planning wasn't right, so I couldn't help but record it. They suggested that Tasha sit back and watch another black woman get torn apart on public television in order to boost viewership, so that Bambi may break. When it worked, they all cheered in the production trailer, and I never came back to the site that day. The court rejected Tasha K's lawyer's request that the statement be withdrawn. If you want to contradict the evidence, you may use cross-examination, but Tamika's testimony supports the admissible audio recording. Bambi was not cocky. She sat quietly. She was simply shocked that someone else had finally spoken it out loud, after hearing Tasha K whisper something to her. Her attorney stood. With this new knowledge, we would want to. The judge's request has been granted, but I caution everyone that any more interference with the judicial system will not be tolerated. To urge the opposing counsel for a settlement talk and to postpone further testimony until we have an opportunity to evaluate our legal exposure. The court recessed, and the internet went wild. This courtroom won't protect you against perjury, but it may have saved you from public shame. KNNWVH1 organized the fight after Twitter threads analyzed the Zoom chat frame by frame in less than 2 hours. That evening, Tasha K was seen on camera getting ready for her own attack arc. Comments vanished, and commercial content began to surface. She lost over 10,000 fans on Patreon. We don't support feigned pain for commercial gain. She was rejected after teasing a brand deal with a large hair care company in a single post. In the meanwhile, Bambi destroyed the mirror, sued me for damages, and posted a black screen with one message on Instagram. There was nothing until the next morning, when Scrappy released My Truth, a 17-minute YouTube video. No editing. He talked plainly, without any music or sparkle. I'm not advocating violence, just a dude speaking into his camera. I'm not supporting a celebrity, but I was there, he retorted. Before that event, I knew who had phoned whom. I am aware of the communications that were conveyed, and off camera, I heard someone say that Bambi will be the next viral breakdown. They tried to make use of her suffering. They wanted to take advantage of my quiet. Everyone is trying to walk it back now that it's falling apart, but I refuse to. I will no longer remain quiet. Finally, he made a slow, sad statement. Although she wasn't perfect, she wasn't the monster they had made her into. In only 12 hours, the video received 1 million views. 12 hours from now. VH1 held an urgent meeting in the meantime. Within 48 hours, 3 producers received suspension.